I don't like this. I'm scared. I'm scared.
Psst! Stanley! Come over here! In the vent! I want to show you something!
What's over here?
Oh, you don't want to see the cool surprise I made for you? Well, fine. You're a dork anyway, so who cares? Oh, never mind. You're not a dork.
Jesus, do I go through the secret cool... Ah! Why have you attacked me? Do I go through this door, or do I go through the secret cool new vent? For the surprise. Cool new vent! This is where the narrator told me to go. There's a coffee nut cup. You a coffee nut, Jesus? We do have a fuck ton of cookies. Whoop! I fell. Would you like to bring me a cookie? I got cookie. Got cookie. Cookie.
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past, and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret. Take a look.
Polo's very cute. Cookie. Ooh? What the fuck?
I call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC.
The fuck? It's beautiful. Jesus, it's Elden Ring. I found Elden Ring. Memory, sweet memory.
You see, Stanley, doesn't the Memory Zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap re-release? Remember back in October of 2013, when the game originally launched? Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
I don't know if they got this narrator. I think you may have stolen this award. That looks like That looks like this is The Last of Us narrator. The British Academy of Film and Television Arts. Yeah. Yeah. That's not your trophy. That's I don't think that's their trophy, Jesus. Linguists identify 15,000-year-old ultra-conserved words, The Washington Post. Researchers identify 24 words whose sound and meanings have survived the past 15,000 years. 6 components of a great corporate culture. Don Coleman, Harvard Business Review. Business bloggers at Harvard Business Review discuss a variety of business topics, including managing people, innovation, leadership, and more. Smile because it happened. Dollar bill. Unachievable. It is impossible to get this achievement. Go outside. Don't play for 5 years. I believe these are actual achievements that were in the original game. Apparently they've upgraded for this version. You can't play for 10 years to get the achievement. British Academy of Film and Television Arts Development Team nominee, British Academy Stanley Parable Game Invention. Game Innovation, sorry, not Invention. Nominee for debut game. Development team. Ain't no way. Yeah, no, it's an actual achievement. If you have a 5-year period since you haven't played the game, you get the achievement on the old one, and it's now 10 years on the new one. New video game today, releasing today. Created surprisingly down to earth. Colleges show uneven effort to enroll poor, costs hinder new tack to achieve diversity. Business leaders pushing election of council allies. 50% off designer hats. I want a designer hat. Hey, Peppermint! I thought you were already following me. How dare you? Thank you for the follow. Los Angeles Times Stanley Parable deals tough choices. You don't want to be here. This is work in progress. Don't be here, Peppermint. This is spoilers. Hey, we got that ending. See you in 10 years. Yeah. We'll play this again in 10 years' time. In memory of little Stanley. Is that a hamster? These flowers are very strong. I cannot walk through them. Oh. I am laying the game. Thank you for throwing these at me, Zebby. Piano?
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim. It was Persona 3. It was all of them. And now, it's nothing.
You changed my item.
It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
An hour? Damn. Tasteful, nostalgic. It was good. Oh, hey, look, it's Minecraft. I forgot about the Minecraft ending. I forgot they had done a Minecraft ending. The original remake. Here's the buttons. Oh, something you could actually go down here. Doesn't seem like you can. Just beat it. It's really good. Have fun. Do you finish the whole thing already, Peppermint? The hell? Person of the Year, Stanley. Oh my god, there's Stanley and Mariella. The fuck is that? The end is never the end, guys. People play games because of what they can do inside them. Your game is very good at letting them know they can't do anything. Literally anything.
Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. It just needed to be left alone, to spend the rest of time collecting dust in the hallowed hall of beloved video game memories.
The serious room? Oh, I remember the serious room. So in the original game, if you hacked into the game, you ended up in the serious room. You were a bad person. How dare you? How dare you? You must think about your choices seriously.
These were simpler times, Stanley. But I wouldn't give to go back, to have it all over again. Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here? Oh no. Oh God, no. Stanley, it's a collection of reviews from Steam, the online video game distributor. I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here.
No. Not
Surely
Steam.
These reviews were glowing as well, weren't they?
Oh no, not Steam. Uh-oh, guys. Oh no.
Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny! I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
Imagine how you're reviewing a game and you probably never play the game, so you never see it. Just imagine having like a remastered version of a game. You left a poor review on the original game, and then your review is within the new remastered version of the game. But you never play it. You never find out. Ooh, more downvotes. What the fuck was that? The positive review.
Okay, let's see what this one says.
Oh no.
While the idea
By
of the game
Noodle
is
Chef.
for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley, I'm not preachy, am I? You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. Well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did. But maybe it wasn't. Oh dear. What an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks on my otherwise unimpeachable track record.
Rip.
I feel like a failure. Like I let these people down. Perhaps the Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered.
Oh. What's this one?
What's this one got
Like
to
Cookie
say?
9.
You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button.
Oh!
A skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have. And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second my incessant droning starts to bore you, with just the push of a button, you'll have zipped right past it. It's what the players have been asking for, and I'm very proud to have delivered. No more listening to me rambling on and on and on. No, 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 no. The Stanley Parable is a game for the people. And if the people want silence, then by goodness, that's what they're going to get. Well, don't sit around waiting for me to shut up. Go ahead and make me shut up. Here, we'll pretend that I've just begun an interminable monologue, and it goes something like this. The story and the choices, or what have you, and therefore, by becoming it is, so on and so forth, until inevitably, we all until the end of time, at which time everything all at once, so, now you see, blah, 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 blah. We've eaten too much and it can't be just yet, no, until 245. That the logic of elimination working backwards, the deduction therefore becomes impossible to manufacture. It went on for nearly 10,000 years, until just yesterday, here and there, forward and back, and never a moment before lunchtime. It can't be. It's the only thing there is. How many billions left until so much more than forever ago? Which is why I say... the story and the choices, or what have you, and therefore, by becoming it is, so on and so forth, until inevitably, we all until the end of time, at which time everything all at once, so, now you see, blah, 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 blah. We've eaten too much and it can't be just yet, no, until 240.
Okay, bye.
Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature of choice in video games. Of course, I happen to believe it was perhaps one of my more profound such ruminations. Not that, of course, you need a description of it, but if I had to describe it, I'd say it was perhaps less of a rumination and more of a treatise. Or maybe a manifesto. Look, I'll outline it for you very briefly, and you can tell me what you think. Okay, so my theory is that any choice you've ever made is simply a series of choices made by the person who you are, or were, or will be at the time of having made said choice.
Yes.
That is to say, if by articulating a choice you've already made, you bring that choice into being, then by making no choice and saying nothing, are you not simply erecting in the sanctuary of time a monument to every person you've ever been, making every choice to which you've ever given your great gift of mortal and yet timeless thought? Or rather, do all of the choices you've ever made, in fact, make you more not this kind of person, and in fact do the very opposite? You see, it could in fact be both of these things at once. That you are both making choices and not making choices, and that they are both affecting you and not affecting you at the same time by virtue of the fact that you both are and are not making them. Okay, at first, I was leaning towards manifesto, but now I'm going to circle around and slap the treatise label on this one. I think it has much more of a treatise vibe to it.
Yes.
But wouldn't you say that manifesto just has a much grander sort of tone? It has a mouthfeel that is rich with ambition and history. Ambitious history, if you will. See, now you've gotten me going back to manifesto. Heavens, at this rate, we're going to be here all day. Okay, look, I have a method for exactly this sort of situation, and I do find myself in this situation frequently. I'm going to say each word back and forth in repeated succession until I become sick of one or the other, in which case the word I am not sick of shall be the victor.
Good.
It is an unimpeachable strategy, Stanley.
Yes.
It's rescued me from disaster in countless situations.
I'm sure.
All right, here we go.
Here we go.
Treatise, manifesto. Treatise, manifesto. Treatise, manifesto.
It's part of the game that you'll probably miss, and if you go past it, if you're all the way over to do it, want to let me know you can get there.
Treatise,
no, let me go as normal. It's fine.
Treatise, manifesto. Treatise, manifesto. Treatise, manifesto. Treatise, manifesto. Treatise, manifesto. Treatise, manifesto. Treatise, manifesto.
You can tell me though if it's one of these four things I've already done. You can do the clicking the door handle 5 times. You can jump out the window. There's the button pushing on certain computers, and there's also the broom closet. So I've done those. Although I haven't finished the computer button pushing ones yet.
Manifesto. Treatise. Well there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button.
It's a great button.
The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it's right at your fingertips to go poof, and it's all over. Oh, I can't wait to see what Cookie and Nine will say about this, and whether they'll edit the rating of their Steam review, or at least change some of the wording, perhaps. To be honest, I don't even know if one can change their review in the first place. I guess I should become better educated on exactly how Steam works. Perhaps that would have been the smart thing to check on before I went about this whole exercise of making the skip button. Although I have to imagine that after seeing this exciting new technology at work, surely whoever it is runs Steam will instantly run out and implement a new feature to make it possible to edit one's review, merely because of this very situation. Yes, I think that's quite likely.
I have bad news for you,
they'll simply grant this particular user the ability to change their review, so that the feature is not widely abused. Look, I would even be okay with Steam altering this particular review so that it reads as something more beneficial. Something along the lines of, this game is the best game.
Yes.
Let me start over. How about this? From the ashes of depravity rises the phoenix of quality. How else to describe the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe?
Yes, how else?
Such a revolutionary step. Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes. It's not unendurable by any means, but it's, well, there's really only so much I can ramble on. Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours. Gosh. You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting longer, and my God, there's no way out of the room. Stanley, the door is gone. It's completely gone. I've looked at it from every angle. I've checked every one of those walls a thousand times.
Okay,
and
you are a creepy weirdo, and you oughta be ashamed of yourself, you fucking degenerate. Go to Weeaboo Jail. Go sit in the corner and think about what you did.
To sit here, and more than anything else, I don't know how to stop you from pressing the button again. I can't control anything in this room, Stanley. I can't touch it, and I have to believe, I have to know that sooner or later. Oh, Stanley, you're back.
Oh, shit.
You're back. Oh, my
God.
Goodness. I have someone to talk to again.
Oh, my God.
Stanley, I think it's been a week.
Narrator.
Or 2 weeks. I've been sitting here all that time. Just sitting here. Not a single person to speak
narrator.
With. And you'd think that that's just how it's always been.
Are you okay here,
right?
narrator?
Me talking and you saying nothing. Would you think that it's exactly the same as always? Doesn't that feel like what we've already been doing? Me just talking? But it isn't, Stanley. It isn't the same at all. It isn't even close. Because I know you can't hear me once you push that button. That's what I'm realizing now, Stanley. Yes. I'm realizing that I needed to know that someone was listening. I needed there to be a vessel through which my words were moving. It was the vessel I...
Bye, narrator.
Oh... Hello, it's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time. I stopped keeping track after a year.
Oh my God,
have you
narrator.
ever sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year? Let me describe it for you. To begin with,
do you have your visual effects for Redeems? It's called VTuber Plus Peppermint. It's on Steam.
I felt nothing
VTuber
at
Plus.
all but regret for the longest time, Stanley. Days, months. I lost it all in a blur of the deepest longing to undo the past. And when that feeling had begun to subside, what took its place is what I can only describe as the collapse of every...
Bye. Narrator? 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 Hello? What's that noise? from?
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs down review and make all of their pitiful demands. But then, he's talking too much, they said. First, he didn't entertain us, now he won't shut up. It's the inconsistency, it's the lack of accountability.
Narrator?
It's the unwillingness to examine with an uncompromising heart the words that they are speaking into the world. As though there were no consequences for a lack of cohesion.
Narrator. Hello? Narrator?
The end is never the end, 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 is never.
Thank you for the hydrate, Tiger. Ow! Oh. The fuck is happening to this place? Oh? It's sunny. Ow, why are you throwing things at me? Darkness, stop saying you're going to sleep. Oh look, it's beautiful. Look at all this greenery, look, it's beautiful! Oh, it's no longer beautiful. The apocalypse happened? Why is it no longer beautiful? Why is it no longer beautiful? Those are scary noises. I don't like those noises. Narrator, save me! I don't like it. What the? Oh no, my button. Supposed to go? Why is it all sand? My button. I don't think my button's working. Oh, my button is working. Wait, I wanted to explore more. I didn't think the button would actually work.